Recently, the Tonara application has been updated for the student, and it's just got a slightly different layout to what it used to be like. So I just want to kind of go over that and give you some guidance on where you need to go now for each of the features. First thing I want to talk about is the profile. Now there's two ways to get into the profile now. Once you log into the home screen, there's like a tiny wee body up at the top right of your screen which you can click on. That then takes you into information about yourself. And there's also, you'll see your profile picture, which is a bit larger than the tiny wee body, which will also take you just into the same information. Once you get into that information, just check that it's all right. If there's anything wrong, get in touch with your teacher or whatever. And also, probably one of the most important things ever is to make sure that you update your profile picture. Now, to do that, you just click on it, you go in, you browse, you find the picture you want to add, and make sure that you click on Update Changes, and that'll then save that. And then you can have, your pet, your favourite video game character, a picture of the family, whatever it is that you want to use, just to personalise it a wee bit, and that's you ready to go. The next thing coming down the screen from your profile is there's now two buttons. The one on the left gives you your score, which is what also goes onto the leaderboard. Now, the way that you build your score is by keeping track of your practice time through your assignments, and also completing your assignments as well. This all gives you points, puts you onto your studio leaderboard, and you can see how you're faring up against the rest of your colleagues. When you click on that, it takes you to two options. You can see the studio leaderboard, or you can see the global leaderboard. Go into the studio ones to see like all the other students that are listed against your teacher, or you can click on the global one to see what's actually happening in the rest of the world. Now, there's some numbers on the global leaderboard which are utterly ridiculous. There's one of two things going on. The first one is that people don't eat, sleep, work, or go to school, or probably go to the toilet because the scores are so big. Or the other thing is they obviously go into their assignments, they click on, I'll start practice now, and then they do the sleep bit, the eat bit, the toilet, the work, or the school bit, and then they come back and they turn it off and they've got a massive score. So the important thing is when you're doing the leaderboards, try to be honest as you can, so that you're not kind of fudging the system. Back in the home screen again, next to your leaderboard points, you'll see some coins, which if you click on, you can do this for as long as you like. It'll not actually do anything. This is a new feature that's been added by Tonara. What they are going to do with it is eventually give you, in the next update or whatever, they're going to give you the opportunity to spend those coins on probably emojis, stickers, things within the application. Don't get the wrong idea, they're not going to start sending things to you through the post. This is all going to be in-app purchases for you to enhance your practice experience. Underneath the leaderboard and the coins, it will give you a quick indication as to what level you're at. Now, this isn't a level of your piano playing, this is more a level of how you're getting on with using the Tonara app. You could come along and you could be playing Chopin ballades and Rachmaninoff concertos, but if you've only been using Tonara for 5 minutes, then you're going to be tagged as a beginner. So don't take that as the level of your piano playing, this is just your usage of Tonara. And again, this is another thing you can click on all you want and absolutely nothing will happen, it's just for information. Under your level, you'll see some practice time information. This is broken down into a week, and it will show you in a kind of bar chart how much time you've been practicing each day. Again, we'll go over this in a second, but you do this through your assignments. Underneath the bar chart, there's a kind of average time. Now, if I digress slightly, if you practice once a week for an hour, that is not as effective as practicing 6 sessions a week for 10 minutes. It's the frequency of going backwards and forwards to the keyboard that builds your familiarity with the layout and the music that you're playing, allows your brain to digest information in between practice sessions. Now, I'm not going to go crazy science on this, but you're better going back for short periods than doing one massive cram session. Okay, lecture over. The next thing down the screen is your assignment list. Now, what it actually tells you is when your next lesson is. Now, I don't really use this because I use another application for lesson timing, but it's there should you want to use it. what you can do here is you can click on go to assignments, and this is where you'll see the list of materials that your teachers may be giving you to work on through the week. And within each one of those assignments, when you click on them, you'll see the information like, you know, make sure your dynamics are there, don't rush, whatever instruction it is that your teacher has given you. I'll go into this in a wee bit more detail in a minute. Last thing in the home page is your rewards, and all that is really, you know, if for example, I get maybe get a piece of audio in or a video in or something, just notify me that one of my students has completed an assignment, I'll send them a wee sticker that says, you know, you rock, or well done, or perfect, with a picture of a cat. And you know, and that then gets listed along this bottom row on the home screen. Now, down at the bottom of the screen, there's 3 buttons. You've got the home button, which is the screen we've just been talking about. The middle one is your assignments button, and then the one on the right hand side is your chat button. So what we'll do is we'll talk about the assignments page next. The first page on the assignments page, too many pages, is the actual list of assignments or things that you've got to work on through the week, and that's under my tasks. What happens is, if I say to you, I want you to practice the Piano Man by Billy Joel this week, and I send that to your account, you'll see a wee button, and what happens is you can then click on that button and that will take you into your practice timer. Once you click on your assignment, it takes you in and gives you all the details, like this is Piano Man, it's on page whatever of this book, and this is the information that you need to work on this week, as I said, like speed, dynamics, whatever it may be. Down at the bottom, you'll see there's a barrel on the bottom that says start practice, and when you click on that, that starts to then time you as you play on the keyboard. Now, this doesn't record any audio. This is just like a stopwatch, if you like, that you could have on your phone or whatever. If you actually want to record your audio, there's a record button in there. You just click on that, and then you can play something, stop the recording, and then that stores that into your media library, which we'll talk about in a second. But the timer keeps going. You need to stop the timer as a separate thing. So you might sit down to work for 2 minutes, you record something in the middle of it, and then you continue to work on some stuff. And then the timer, once you get to the end of your practice, you just click the stop timer, and that's when you get your points and they get added to the leaderboard. Down at the bottom of your My Task list, there's a Play for Fun option, which is like an assignment where but it's not really given by your teacher. So you might be working on a couple of pieces that you are working with your teacher, but then you might want to maybe do a wee bit of practice on a piece that you just enjoy playing. For example, I was talking to a student last night and we were talking about Dance Monkey. So that might not be on like the task list for this week, but you may want to play it a wee bit. And again, this is another opportunity for you to go in, record your time, record the audio, send it over to me. And again, when you finish all that, it gives you some points and gets added onto the leaderboard. One last thing about tasks before we go. When you're doing your task and you're finished and you want to get back to your assignment screen, then there's like a tiny wee X up at the same place that the tiny wee body was for the profile. You just click on that and that closes that and takes you back to the list of assignments. That covers the My Tasks part of your assignment sheet. The next button across the ribbon at the top is Studio, and if you go in there, this is just another way to access the leaderboard, so it just gives you the same options as what you would have got by clicking on your points on the home screen. The last button on the ribbon at the top of the My Assignments screen is the Media button. Now this is where you will find your recordings and images and anything like that that you want to send away. When you go into it, it's got this sort of default view of just one item per row, but you can actually change that view. Also, you can filter, so you can maybe filter by videos, audios, pictures, that sort of thing, just to make it easier to find what you're looking for. When you find the item that you're looking for that you want to share with your teacher, then what you do is you just click on it and it takes you into the actual item itself, and then at the bottom there's a wee share icon. You click on that and then it gives you an option where you'd like to send it. Generally it will give you your teacher or Lily at Tonara support. I'm sure Lily would love to hear your music, but probably you're better sending it to your teacher. So the last button on the assignment screen down at the bottom right is the chat bubble. Basically you just click on that, and this is just like opening up like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or whatever's cool at the time. You go in there, you'll see who you can talk to. Now normally it would be me, again maybe Lily at Tonara support if you've got an issue with your application. So you would click on me and then you can start the conversation. And naturally that, as I said, this is probably one of the best parts of Tonara. It keeps everything in one place. You've got all your questions, you've got all your audio recordings, video recordings, any pictures you've taken, and it just stores it in one place. Instead of like sending pictures through Dropbox, sending messages through Facebook Messenger, sending audio through WhatsApp, which becomes very confusing very quickly. This is just a one-stop shop for all of that information. So that is us for the new Tonara app. As I said, it's quite a nice layout. It is a wee bit confusing compared to the last one. I don't find it quite as intuitive. However, it's got this, the layout is good enough. I've covered all the points of it. If you've got any questions, please let me know.